Hello, everybody from the ClimeCo team. We're going to wait just another maybe minute and let folks join us for the webinar. While we're waiting, I'll mention that we will have a Q&A screen open, so please drop any questions that you have in the Q&A, and we will go through those at the end of the presentation and discuss any questions. We'll also make the recording and the slide deck from this presentation available to all the folks who signed up, so you'll be able to get this to follow up with. Just going to give us about 30 more seconds to let folks join. And we certainly appreciate your time and attention joining us today for this discussion. We're really excited. The ClimeCo Certified Products team is here and looking forward to presenting our program to you. And we're very excited to have two featured guests, very honored to have Jack Kapersky from the Amazon Climate Pledge Friendly team and Katie Orbis, VP of Marketing and Sustainability at one of our clients' new chapter, to share their experiences. And with that, we'll do some quick introductions. Beginning with the ClimeCo team, my name is Linda Kelly. I'm the Senior Vice President of Certification Programs at ClimeCo, have worked with this certification for the past 15 years and began working with the Amazon Climate Pledge Friendly team over 5 years ago as that Climate Pledge Friendly Sustainably Certified Products program was being developed and launched. And with that, I'll ask Preeti on our team to introduce herself.
Thank you, Linda. Hi, everyone. I'm Preeti Shankar, Director of Certification Programs at ClimeCo. I have a background in corporate law and sustainability, and I've been part of this wonderful program for about 3-ish years now. I'll pass it off to Kat.
Great. Thanks, Preeti. Hi, everyone. My name is Kat Bates, and I'm the Senior Manager of the Certified Product Program. I manage all of our registered companies and help onboard new companies and guide them through certifying their products. I also help to develop our new technology portal and work with our innovations team to add new features to further simplify the certification process, both for our team and also for our registered companies. And I've been at ClimeCo for just over 2 years now. And I'll pass to Audrey.
Thanks, Kat. I'm Audrey Wachter, Associate Manager of the Certified Product Program. I work very closely with Kat to also walk companies through the whole certification process, and I also work on improving our user portal. And today joining us, we also have 2 special guests. So Jack, if you want to go ahead and start, introduce yourself.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Jack Kapersky. I'm a business development manager on Amazon's Climate Pledge Friendly Selling Partner Engagement team. So I work directly with brands to help them identify how their products can qualify for the CPF program, specifically through third-party sustainability certifications such as ClimeCo. Ultimately, my focus is making it easier for customers to discover these more sustainable options and showcase our selling partners and the great sustainability work that they are already doing. And I will pass it over to Katie.
Everyone, my name's Katie Orvis. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Sustainability at New Chapter. New Chapter is a natural vitamins and supplements brand, and I've been here for 10 years. So excited to chat with you guys today.
Great. Thank you so much, Jack and Katie. We really appreciate your time and joining us and sharing your expertise. So we'll quickly run through the agenda for today's webinar. We're going to set the stage with what we're continuing to see in the consumer products brand marketplace with the growing demand from consumers for sustainable products. Lots of surveys, lots of studies being done, and the data kind of just keeps piling in. This is great data for brands to use if you're deciding internally whether it's worth investing in a certified product label. Then we'll ask Jack to talk about the success to date of the Amazon Climate Pledge Friendly program and how badging products with third-party validated sustainable certifications really is helping those products to stand out on Amazon. And then our team will walk you through the ClimeCo Certified Product Program, the features and the benefits of that program, and the ease with which you can get our certification and the benefits it'll bring to you. And then we'll turn it over to Katie to really put a highlight on New Chapter's experience, why New Chapter is a leader in focusing on what their consumers need, how third-party product certifications have really helped New Chapter achieve those goals and the results they're seeing. And then we'll finish with a Q&A. So a little bit about the statistics that I mentioned, not going to read these, but we will make these available to you. These are just some of the stats that we're seeing in the marketplace. These are by credible third-party sources. I think Jack's going to share some stats, but several of us attended the Sustainable Brands Conference last week, and there are more and more surveys coming out that really show that consumers are very focused on their intentional purchasing and looking for ways to best identify products that are being offered by brands that are taking sustainability initiatives seriously, that are becoming third-party validated in those efforts, and that these consumers are showing loyalty through their wallets, through their purchases, and willing to, in many cases, pay up for the sustainability features and benefits that they're seeking. And so what's really the role of the product certifiers? We see ourselves as really working as a team with businesses and brands and helping to clearly communicate those initiatives that the brands are taking and the certifications that they're receiving so that consumers know that there is that extra layer of third-party validation and recognition, and consumers can trust that these brands really are achieving the goals and achieving the results that they are communicating to their customers. So with that, we're going to show you just a quick video. ClimeCo has a whole series of Insight for Impact videos, very short little videos that feature one of the programs or products that we offer. So this one will talk a little bit about the importance of third-party certification for sustainably branded products.
80% of consumers want an easier way to find environmentally responsible products. And 80% of companies have sustainability goals for their products but struggle to communicate them to consumers. Sustainable product certification bridges that gap. As a company, look for credible certifications that address your product's carbon footprint, because every product has one. A credible, sustainable product certification label ensures rigorous product lifecycle assessments, third-party verification, ongoing product carbon footprint reductions, and an easily recognizable badge for consumers to find you. As a consumer, when you choose sustainably certified products, you support businesses that prioritize positive climate impact and transparency.
Great, thank you. So as you saw in the video, ClimeCo Certified Products Program really does focus on the carbon intensity, the carbon impact of that product, and it helps brands to achieve true full product decarbonization along the full life cycle of that product. This certification program really began back in 2007. The legacy program was launched by a company called Carbon Fund under the Certified Carbon Free label. Today, this week, you'll be seeing a transition on Amazon. We're in the process of rebadging the program so that the ClimeCo certified product is the badge you'll see going forward. But the program's been in the marketplace for almost 20 years and was one of the first certified product programs that Amazon approached and began discussing the concept of the Climate Pledge Friendly program. So we've been working with the Amazon team for over 5 years. In 2022, ClimeCo acquired some of the programs and assets from the former Carbon Fund, including the certification program, and has rebranded and renamed it and enhanced the product requirements, the program requirements in the process. In 2023, we really saw an explosion in the interest of sustainably certified products as Amazon opened the Climate Pledge Friendly badging program in China. So that really brought a lot of businesses in. And to date, we've worked with over 400 companies. We have over 90,000 actively certified products, and it's among one of the fastest growing sustainable certification programs. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jack and let him tell you about the CPF program successes.
Thank you, Linda. Great. So let's start with the big picture then. So Climate Pledge Friendly, or CPF, is Amazon's flagship program for making more sustainable shopping easier for customers. So the idea is simple: help customers identify products with trusted sustainability features right where they're already shopping. Today, we have over 2.2 million products in the program. And what really sets CPF apart is that every product is certified by one of more than 60 trusted third-party organizations. So not by Amazon, but by independent third-party leaders in sustainability, such as ClimeCo. Each of these certifications is tied to one or more of 14 specific sustainability features. Think things like recycled content, organic farming, energy efficient manufacturing, safer chemicals, or of course, carbon impact. So when a customer sees the CPF badge, they can actually click in and learn why that product qualified. So it's not just a green logo, it connects to real, credible environmental claims. This transparency helps customers feel more confident, and it educates them at the same time. So what makes CPF especially powerful is how it shows up seamlessly across the Amazon experience. Customers actually see the CPF badge across 22 different website features. Think search results, product detail pages, in the shopping cart, within their past orders. This makes it really easy to find, understand, and choose a more sustainable option. CPF is all about customer empowerment and not just marketing. So shoppers actually get smarter with each of the CPF products that they browse. What does this mean for brands, you might ask? It means greater visibility, more customer trust, and a better chance of being the product that ultimately gets chosen, especially when a shopper is actually looking for that more sustainable option. And then for us, it supports our broader goal, which is to make Amazon Earth's most trusted destination for more sustainable shopping. So that's how the CPF program works at a high level: credible certifications, clear sustainability features, and then built-in customer visibility across the site. But the real question actually is, does it really matter to shoppers? So on the next slide, let's take a look at what customers are actually telling us and how it's translating into impact for brands. So not just Amazon, but to your brand, this matters. And more importantly, it matters to your customers. So we know that 74% of consumers care about the environmental impact of their purchases, and that's across the board, all age groups, all demographics. But if we actually zoom in on Gen Z, or the next generation of shoppers, really, it's even more pronounced. So 91% of Gen Z say that they want to buy from sustainable companies. It's not just a niche value anymore. This is actually a mainstream consumer expectation. And this is actually where it gets interesting for business outcomes, because we see that products with sustainability features, they don't just get noticed, right? They actually perform better. So in fact, products that are in the Climate Pledge Friendly program have a 1.7 times higher repurchase rate than those that aren't. So what we see is that sustainability drives trust, and then that trust drives loyalty. So customers are looking to align their values with their purchases, and CPF makes it easier for them to do that consistently. So that means it's not just good for the planet, it's good for long-term business growth. These results actually don't just stop at loyalty, though. So let's take a look at the next slide at how CPF influences visibility and sales performance as well. So we talked about what CPF is and why sustainability matters to customers. Now let's actually talk about that impact that brands are seeing when they join the program. So on average, CPF products see a 12% lift in sales and a 10% increase in glance views. That's how often customers are actually clicking to learn more about a product. And these aren't just long-term results. They show up actually within the first year of joining the program. Why, you might ask? Well, it's because of those things I mentioned before. CPF gives products an edge in visibility and, more importantly, trust. So when a shopper sees the badge, they're more likely to click. When they click, they see verified certifications, clear sustainability claims, and that builds the confidence at the moment of decision. So this isn't just about meeting customer expectations. It's actually about unlocking real business growth through sustainable product design, smarter discoverability. This is especially helpful if you're already doing the hard work to make your products more sustainable. So CPF turns that hard work into a competitive advantage by helping customers find you and trust you faster. So if you're building sustainability into your product strategy, or you already have products that meet these standards, CPF can help bring that story forward in ways that really matter to customers. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jack. It's really compelling to hear about the investments that Amazon has made in the Climate Pledge Friendly program and the successes that it's had. So now we're going to ask Kat Bates to drill down a little bit specifically to the ClimeCo Certified Products Program and how our certification can help you take advantage of that third-party certification and the benefits through the CPF program. Thanks, Kat.
Great, thanks, Linda. So yes, as Linda says, so now I'll give kind of a high-level overview of our program and talk about how companies can go about getting their products certified with us and then also badged on Amazon. So the ClimeCo Certified Product Program is a carbon impact-based product certification. We recognize products of companies that are taking continuous steps to reduce their product's carbon footprint. Because all products have a carbon footprint, any product of any category can be certified, aside from a short list of prohibited products that both ClimeCo and Amazon share. Some examples of our certified products include vitamins and supplements, clothing, skincare and beauty products, electronics, kids' toys, and many more. As Linda said, our program has been experiencing a ton of growth. We have over 400 registered companies and have certified over 90,000 products and only continuing to grow. For comparison, we have experienced over a 90% increase in registered companies since last year and over 600% increase in registered products. Some of our top brands include Ritual, Rail, and iFixit. And we're also super excited to announce that Corsair and Seed Health are now registered with us. Also, New Chapter, of course, has been certified with us since 2022, and you'll get to hear more about their experience later on in the webinar. So in the next slide, I can chat a little bit more about the application process. So our certification can be completed in 3 simple steps and a 3-week timeline. We are the simplest and quickest certification available, and our new technology portal guides registered companies through each step. So once a company identifies the products that they would like certified, they'll need to source an outside qualified life cycle assessment provider to complete a full cradle to grave LCA report for their products. And the key value that results from the LCA is the product carbon footprint, and we use this value to determine the number of offsets that a company will need to purchase by multiplying it by their forecasted sales per product. So step number 2, the company can easily create their ClimeCo Certified Product Portal account and submit their LCA, as well as their carbon emissions reduction plan, which is the company's specific quantitative goals for product emission reductions. ClimeCo will then conduct an additional review of their submitted LCAs and other materials, and then both the company and ClimeCo will sign our program agreement, and the company will complete payment of fees and offset purchases. Lastly, the company will receive the ClimeCo certified badge as well as our marketing kit to finalize the process. ClimeCo will seamlessly upload all of the product information on behalf of the company to Amazon for Amazon Climate Pledge Friendly badging. We'll then assist the company in their communication efforts. As I mentioned before, we provide a marketing kit, which provides templates for social media, key terms to use, and other helpful marketing tips. To maintain certification, companies will report actual sales quarterly, pursue continual product level emission reductions, and also renew their participation annually. So this super simple process is credited to our ClimeCo Certified Product Portal, which launched last year. And our portal streamlines this entire process and allows for easy applications, quarterly sales report submissions, and annual renewals. So now I can pass it off to Audrey to give you a preview of our portal.
Thanks, Kat. Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about our technology portal now. As Kat mentioned, the entire certification process is really streamlined by this portal. And shown here in this picture, you can kind of see a screenshot of the homepage, which users will see. So this allows both you as a user and us as admins to view and manage all aspects of the program. As a company, you'll apply for certification, submit your data, and renew all from this one account. And because it's able to organize all of this information so efficiently for us, like Kat said, it has allowed us to greatly reduce the time between submission and certification. So companies can now be certified within about 3 weeks of application submission. So moving on to the next slide, you can see some of the different views that the users can see and use to manage their products and LCAs. And the portal is really meant to help you stay organized and on top of our program requirements. For example, the portal will let you know actually when it's time to renew or submit sales or update any necessary documents. And another time saver option is our CSV uploading options throughout the whole portal, which allows you to upload a simple spreadsheet of your company's data, whether that be emissions data, sales data, anything that we need. And then the portal will use this to easily populate all of those required fields for you. And then I also want to highlight how dynamic the portal is. We are really frequently adding new features and improvements with feedback directly from clients, so we know that our updates are adding value. Our feedback button, which you can kind of see in this corner here in this screenshot, makes it very quick and easy for you to contact us about any portal related questions or ideas. And this information will go directly to our team as well as the engineering team. Okay, moving on to our program pricing. So we believe that we have the lowest cost out of any carbon impact certification that we've seen. And the program pricing can really be broken into three main parts. So the first part is the LCA cost, which is not charged by ClimeCo, but by the outside third party who performs the LCA assessment. And we've seen that this can be as low as $1,000 due to LCA practitioners now leveraging AI to help them. And then we have our annual registration fees, and this is a tiered system based on the number of LCAs submitted. And because our fees are based on LCAs and not products, one LCA can include dozens or hundreds of SKUs, really allowing companies to register many, many products at a low cost. And then the third part is the offset cost, which is a standard $12.50 per metric ton. And as Kat said, the number of offsets purchased is based on each product's carbon footprint multiplied by their forecasted sales. We also do offer customized offset portfolios and pricing for very large purchases. And then lastly, I also want to mention that for any new companies participating in this webinar who want to begin registering products before the end of the year, we will offer a customized discount based on your situation and your needs. So please do reach out to us and we can discuss that. Okay, and with that, I will pass it off to Preeti.
Yeah, thank you, Audrey. So in this section, we'll talk about why choose the ClimeCo Certified Product Program certification for your products. We believe there are 4 really key features that make the ClimeCo program such a strong one. The first one being our very strong governance. Now, like Linda was saying at the Sustainable Brands Conference last week, we heard over and over again about how consumers want to purchase sustainable products, but they're also having issues with trusting the companies and the products that they buy. And a critical role that third-party certifiers like us play is in bringing that consumer trust in that certified product. And the way ClimeCo delivers on that promise is by having very strong governance mechanisms in place. This starts from our protocol, the program protocol. We have internal processes and governance mechanisms. There's a lot of reporting and compliance that we make sure we keep track of, and a whole host of other things we do to ensure that strong governance in our program, which essentially translates to stronger trust for the companies that are placing their trust in us and the consumers that are buying those ClimeCo certified products. The second aspect is, like Kat and Audrey mentioned, we have a very cost competitive program, and we're also working with LCA partners who are leveraging technology now to further drive down those costs. So if cost has been a barrier for you to enter this program, come talk to us now. Things are changing. We offer very competitive pricing and some among the lowest that we've seen in the market. And the other aspect that I really want to highlight is, again, the technology-powered portal that ClimeCo is leveraging. Like Audrey already showed you a snapshot of it. There is a lot of ease that this technology portal has brought to our program. We are hearing from our clients again and again that this has been a game changer for them. It has helped their onboarding become easier. It has made ongoing program management easier with all the sales reporting and compliances and everything else that they need to take care of. And the portal makes it so easy to manage in one shot, allowing for more efficiencies and cost savings for our clients. And last but not the least, ClimeCo has the full support from across our company. So ClimeCo is a decarbonization expert, and we have multiple teams beyond just the certifications team that you see here today. We have an advisory practice, project development, an environmental commodities group, and we are able to leverage the expertise of all of those people to help companies decarbonize. Because ClimeCo's program is one of continual decarbonization. So we realize that companies need support with decarbonization. And so no matter where you are in your journey, ClimeCo is able to leverage expertise from across the company to help with that. On the next slide, we will dive a little bit deeper into that governance aspect. As I was mentioning, ClimeCo draws from the ClimeCo protocol for managing this program. And on the left, you'll see that this is a protocol that has been designed very carefully with a lot of input from many different sources, from international standards like the ISO and the GHG product protocol standard, from various rules, regulations, and laws from across the national and international spheres. We also take into account stakeholder input, including Amazon's carbon policy, and there is a lot of marketplace input that is baked into our protocol. The intention there is to make sure that that consumer trust that we're talking about remains intact, and we continue to uphold it while also making the program easy and manageable for our clients. On the right-hand side, you'll see a few more highlights of our governance processes. I'll just touch upon a few of them. Number one is that we intentionally keep a third-party outside step. The LCA part of our program that Audrey touched upon, we intentionally keep that outside of ClimeCo. While we have the capabilities to do it in-house, we have kept it as an intentional third-party step outside, because we want to make sure that there is that verifiability and credibility to the calculations that have been done. Essentially, a certifier is not certifying their own work. And another aspect to our program is that we add, for the offset purchases that a company has to make, we add a 10% buffer. And this is a direct recommendation that came from our board of directors. This is to ensure that companies that are making those offset purchases are always making claims based that are valid and defensible, and you're always slightly overcompensating, but you're never undercompensating for the carbon impact-based claims you're making. The third aspect being that, again, the reporting of sales and true-ups that Kat and Audrey touched on, we ensure that there is quarterly reporting of those sales and true-ups in our program, again, making sure that companies stay compliant. And finally, because this is a continual emissions reduction based program, we have made it easier for companies to report on their emissions reductions by offering an emissions reduction template. We call it the CERP. Again, the goal is to make it as easy and manageable as possible, so that we continue to uphold that consumer trust in our certification. And with that, I will pass it off to Katie. She will provide us the brand perspective on how they think about third-party certifications and what it has meant for New Chapter to be a ClimeCo certified partner.
Well, thank you, Preeti. All right. So just a little bit on who New Chapter is. So New Chapter is a natural vitamins and supplements company based in Vermont, and we've had a deeply held mission since 1982 to deliver the wisdom of nature. And that really means that we look to nature and we look to the earth to guide us in our formulation and how we approach vitamins. So we've been a pioneer in space with a history of firsts. We were the first brand to be certified as organic within supplements, non-GMO, B Corp, and we have a whole other history of firsts. So certifications are incredibly important to this brand to verify what we do, how we do it, and instill trust with our customers. We ensure that we go the extra mile to responsibly source ingredients from where they grow best. And again, validate from a third-party standpoint. And, we do all of that in the right way. And so we partnered a few years ago, back in 2022, with the ClimeCo team, and we have 105 products that are certified as ClimeCo today. Go to the next slide. So why did we choose ClimeCo as a certifier, as well as why do we invest in a whole host of other certifications? You know, it really gets down to building consumer trust. Within supplements, I'm sure you guys have seen, you've probably shopped the aisle or you've walked down an aisle, you've, shopped on different e-commerce platforms. There are a lot of supplement brands out there, and there are more and more coming every day, especially with the rise of social commerce. So the chief concern for consumers within the supplement space is really quality and safety. And so we use third-party certifications as a way to communicate quality and to build trust with the consumer, right? We want to show that we are, transparent and that they, can believe what they see on our label and what we're telling them about the great lengths that we've gone to create these products, and that they can feel good about taking them. And again, we also want to highlight our brand equity. I think what's really important as you choose certifications and third-party certifications is understanding your own brand equity and what your brand stands for. So we choose certifications that help reinforce our brand equity and ensure that, the wisdom of nature is brought to life through organic, through, great programs like ClimeCo and a variety of other certifications. This is just a quick excerpt from our impact report that we just released in September, showcasing the breadth of third-party certifications that we offer across our portfolio. Go to the next slide. So I talked to a lot of brands around thinking about sourcing and, getting a third-party certification. And there's a few steps that we go through when we look for a new certification and we onboard a new certification. So first off, we make sure that our certification is relevant, right? It has to be relevant for the brand, and it has to be relevant for that consumer to build trust. It should reinforce a value that your brand has. It should reinforce product superiority. Then we look to the certification and the certifier body, right? We want to make sure that they're super credible, right? Choosing a reputable source and a reputable body for certifications is incredibly important, right? We go through a very rigorous process to make sure that, the certifying body actually does their homework and does what they say they do. And so we only partner with certifiers that we really truly have done our homework on and that we believe are the best to represent our brand. Then we look at essentially cost versus value, right? Is this of value to our consumer? Will that offset the costs? The answer is always yes for our brand, right? We are a natural brand. We are trying to communicate natural efficacy, safety, quality, and using programs like Climate Pledge Friendly help us to be discoverable on Amazon. The supplement space, as I mentioned, is incredibly crowded, and it is very hard to stand out when there are thousands of other brands. Using certifications to enable Climate Pledge Friendly is a huge unlock for brands that may not have huge awareness like our brand. So we are really, really passionate about doing that to drive discoverability and ensure that our products do what they say they do, and our consumers can trust and believe that. And then from an ongoing compliance standpoint, we monitor. We work with our partners. We've got great partners at ClimeCo that we work with on a regular basis, and we maintain those certifications, right? Through continuous audits, transparency, right? Because it's our brand reputation on the line at the end of the day. And so we work with great certifiers to really ensure that our products are, maintaining our third-party certifications, and we can stand behind that. Go to the next slide. And so what's the impact, right? We have 105 products that have been certified ClimeCo. We've partnered with Amazon Climate Pledge Friendly. We've got in early on the program and have been partnering with them for the last 3 years, becoming discoverable on site. And that has led to double-digit growth on Amazon year after year after year, which is huge and provides significant value for our brand. And then one of the other great things that I love as a marketer is being able to leverage our third-party certifications across our media assets, right? You always lead with product superiority, but you can reinforce your brand equity, what your brand stands for, the values of your company with your third-party certifications and your sustainability efforts. So a couple ways that we leverage these certifications, right? We go through a great process. We get the product certified. We leverage them on social media, right? We use a lot of our social media, our organic content on social to educate about our third-party certifications. The consumers bought into the brand. They know it at this point, right? They're falling in love with the brand. Third-party certifications give consumers reasons to trust and help them fall in love with our brand. We also leverage certifications on our website as well. So we have them on every product detail page. We have information on our sustainability pages, certifications pages, where consumers can really learn more about what these certifications mean and why they're important. We also leverage them at the point of sale. This is a little screen grab from one of our Amazon B+ images, talking about our fish oil and all the great certifications we have on that fish oil to show that it's safe, it has high quality, and it's effective. And then lastly, we also have an annual impact report. And this is something that we're incredibly proud as a company to offer, detailing all of our efforts on our sustainability work. And we really do highlight our certifications, our third-party bodies there. It's a nice feature on ClimeCo in the 2024 impact report, so I highly encourage you guys all to look at it. But really showcasing our commitment to people, planet, and making sure that consumers can feel really good about purchasing our products. And then we also leverage them on packaging, right? We leverage third-party certifications on packaging. So at that point of decide, whether it's on the physical shelf, the digital shelf, the consumer can feel really, really good about choosing our products in a sea that's incredibly crowded with products and brands.
Thanks, Katie. I just think that it's so powerful to hear from Jack about the way that Amazon has invested so deeply in Climate Pledge Friendly and really leveraged it throughout the Amazon shopping experience, and then to see what a great job New Chapter has done in also using so many aspects of your marketing and promotion and communication to your customers about the importance of the various third-party certifications you've pursued. This was a lot of information for everybody, but again, we will be distributing a recording of the webinar as well as the slides, and we have time for some Q&A, and we have a couple of questions that have come in. The first question is asking, how can a company manage the ongoing costs of the products that they register with ClimeCo? If sales of a product continue to escalate, did the cost of purchasing the offsets get prohibitively high? To me, this is one of the advantages of our program. The program pricing is flexible. The annual registration cost is flexible as to the number of LCAs with however many products have been assessed or registered. And then the ongoing cost of the beyond value chain decarbonization by supporting voluntary carbon offset projects is tied back to product sales. So part of what we help companies do is to bring the program costs down to the individual product level and look at how much does the certification cost contribute at each product level. And then as products sell, you're maintaining that same cost to margin. And so you're balancing that overall cost. The cost of buying the carbon credits to ensure full decarbonization will not get out of control because they are tied to the quantity of sales that you're experiencing. And we work with each company to ensure that the carbon offset projects you're selecting suit both your corporate initiatives, your messaging, and your price restrictions. ClimeCo is a global developer of voluntary carbon offset projects. We also source from third-party validated, verified projects across the world that meet our standards, as well as the standards that Amazon maintains. So we're here to help you ensure that you keep the certification costs both affordable and contributing to the success of your product sales. We have another question here that asks, why doesn't ClimeCo calculate the product carbon footprint directly? And I'll ask, Preeti touched on that, and I'll ask Preeti to elaborate on that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Linda. So the reason ClimeCo has kept the product carbon footprint calculation as an outside step is because, like I was touching upon during my slides, we want to make sure there is that separation between certifier and calculator. We have intentionally incorporated that as part of our program to make sure that the same person calculating the footprint is also not the person who is certifying your work, is helping you purchase offsets, etc. And that is actually, we believe it's a strength of our program because it makes sure that there is an extra set of eyes that have looked at this calculation and are making sure that your product carbon footprint is being reported accurately. And we have heard from companies that we work with that they appreciate that. They appreciate that extra level of outside check that is being brought to the program rather than having the entire process being managed by just one entity. It adds to that consumer trust and the client trust in that certification.
Great. Thank you, Preeti. We're not seeing other questions, but we want to give everybody just another second to submit any questions in the Q&A chat. If you have any, again, bit of a fire hose of information. We do have our contact information for the ClimeCo team, and on the final slide, we encourage you to reach out. We are here to help you select a certification that best fits your company and your products, and then to help you assess the affordability, the ease to achieve that certification with ClimeCo. So please do feel free to reach out. We do have one more new announcement about a certification that we are launching in Q1. I'm going to give Q&A just another second before we move to that. But as Jack mentioned, the Climate Pledge Friendly program has continued to expand through careful analysis of third-party sustainably certified product programs that exist, and they're up over 60 different certifications. We've been listening to our clients and our customer base, and so in Q1, ClimeCo will be pioneering the launch of a certified product program very similar to the program we discussed with you today, but shifting the focus a bit to direct within a company's supply chain or value chain interventions. Many of you may have heard the term insetting, which is the other side of offsetting. It's very similar process, but making those climate impact and those carbon emission reductions directly within your own supply chain. So the ClimeCo insetting program will really be for brands that are addressing supply chain today. They may have science-based target initiatives and commitments that they're seeking that deal with direct supply chain emissions reductions, and that is where this certification will be a complement to our current certified products program and allow for companies to shift those emission reductions to directly within their supply chain. And seeing no more questions, I guess we will move forward and show you another one of our insights for impact video that focuses specifically on this concept of insetting.
You know carbon offsetting, but what's insetting? Insetting means investing in sustainability projects within a product supply chain. Imagine an environmental impact label showing all the impacts of getting a product to the shelf, helping us choose sustainable options. As consumers choose products with lower environmental impact, companies improve their product sustainability. Insetting tackles climate change from the inside out. It's a traceable, measurable, and fast-growing approach to decarbonization.
Great, thank you, Audrey. So we'll conclude by saying that ClimeCo has solutions for you. For companies that are ready to certify today, our current certified products program is very, very accessible, very easy to achieve. For companies that are looking a little more long-term, then this insetting certification may be the best match for you. ClimeCo works both with companies and brands that are looking to directly reduce emissions within their supply chain and the suppliers of those supply chain solutions. So we'll be helping companies to put together those actions. We really appreciate everyone's time today. Again, I have to thank Katie Orvis from New Chapter and Jack Kapersky from the Amazon Climate Pledge Friendly team for honoring us with your presence and your information and expertise in this area. Thanks to the ClimeCo team. Thank you all for participating, and we hope to talk with you soon. Thank you.